Good morning, all. Uh, Let us start our sixth lecture, and this is the concluding lecture for the chapter number 1, which is the basic for entire syllabus here. So, in the previous lectures, we have discussed about first the force, then the resolution, then the resultant, then the way to find out the different resultant. And in the previous lectures, we have discussed about the uh, how to find out the resultant of the concurrent force system, then parallel force system. Today, we will find out the concurrent, non-concurrent, and non-parallel force system. How to find out the resultant here. Can anyone confirm? Can you hear me and can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. So here you can see a system here. So who will tell me what type of system is given over here? Always see the diagram carefully and tell me what type of system is given over here.
Non-concurrent, non-coplanar.
Yeah. No, it is coplanar. No? It is lying on the plane.
Yeah, sorry, sir. Non-concurrent.
We are studying only coplanar force system
Yeah,
in our
sorry.
syllabus in this chapter. So it is coplanar and
Non-concurrent.
non-concurrent force system. All of you agree? Even though it appears here that the forces are axis is shown, the red color x-axis and y-axis is shown over here, but all the forces are not passing through O. Okay, so here this is a non-coplanar to hai. This is a coplanar force system and non-concurrent force system, non-parallel force system. Now, just revise what we did in the previous two topics. How to find out the resultant. The first step is resolve the forces along x and y axis. Second step is addition of all the x component of the forces. Next one is addition of all the y component of the forces. Then R is found out by summation of fx and summation of f of y. Just give me a minute. Why are not joining in time? Just wait for a few minutes. Just any one of you confirm? Can you see the screen and can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So it is a non-concurrent force system, non-concurrent and coplanar force system. And here we are going to find out who is Mansher. C12 Isha. I don't mind to waste the entire hour if you are doing all these things. Who is the C12 Isha? Please unmute your mic and talk to me.
So by mistake it happened.
This doesn't happen by mistake. It happens intentionally. Call me after the
Sorry,
lecture.
sir.
Who is the C02? Unmute your sound and talk to me. I will not bother. देखो आपको क्या करना है. Who is the C02? Yes. So the question is determine the resultant completely for the given force system. So we are discussing how to find out the resultant in the what you have studied in the last lecture. It may be parallel force system or the concurrent force system. The first 5 steps are same. The first one is resolve the given forces. Then the second one is summation of f of x. Then summation of f of y. Then resultant is equal to r is equal to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Then theta you are finding out the angle made by or the direction of the resultant you are finding out by tan theta is equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. But for the concurrent force system, all the forces are passing through the same point, so resultant is also passing through the same point. So no need to find out the point of application of the resultant. But in case of non-concurrent force system, I need to find out the resultant magnitude, the direction, as well as point of application I have to find out. So for the point of application, in addition to these 5 steps, I have to add the Varignan's theorem. The Varignan's theorem is says this algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point must be equal to the moment of the resultant. So summation of mf about point O must be is equal to MRO, means moment of resultant about O. So from that position, I am getting moment of the resultant. We are assuming that R into D. Okay. So D is the perpendicular distance between the line of action of the resultant and that point about which you are taking the moment. So that step I have to add. Only these are the steps you are getting. Okay. Just confirm. Can you hear me? And can you see the screen? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So we will
sir.
not waste time that. So here, as already we have discussed, this is not a concurrent force system. So here I have to find out the magnitude, direction, as well as point of application of the resultant I have to find out. So very first thing is just observe the figure carefully. एक एक करके देखते हैं. The force A. We will analyze the force A. The force acting at point A, its magnitude is 16 kilonewton, and in bracket something is written here 4, 0 means its x and y coordinates are shown with respect to the given origin O. So x coordinate is 4 and definitely y component is 0 here. So it is a horizontal force. Then the force acting at B is 10 kilonewton, its inclination is 30, and its x and y components are given as 4 and 2. Coordinates are given as 4 and 2. So x distance is 4 and y distance is 2. Then the force of 20 kilonewton, it's acting in downward direction, its inclination is 20 degrees. And its coordinates are given 0 and 5. 0 means the x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is 5. So I can say it is acting along the y-axis. Then similarly for the force at acting at D and acting at 80. So in addition to this, something else is added over in the given question. Just observe the point E. At the point E, something is written over here 16 kilonewton meter and some clockwise anti-clockwise direction is given over there. What is that? Can anyone tell me what is this 16 kilonewton?
Moment.
Yeah, it's
Moment
a couple. It's a couple, and moment of couple is given as 16 kilonewton meter, and this is to be taken care in Varignan's theorem. Okay, that at that time I will describe it once again here. So again, the same thing. So here 10 kilonewton. No, I am not showing the different components out here because you are familiar with this, how to resolve the given forces. So first step is to summation of fx. One by one we will go. The 16 kilonewton force, it's acting towards left, so minus. Then the 10 kilonewton force acting at B, its x component will be positive, and 10 cos 30. 20 kilonewton, it's acting in downward direction and towards right, so its x component will be positive, and it is 20 cos 20. Then the force acting at D of 15 kilonewton, its inclination is given 36.87, and it is acting in the first quadrant, or it is acting towards right. So its x component is also positive. So 15 cos 36.87. Then here this addition is remained over here. This 18 kilonewton force, it's acting in vertical direction, so its x component will be 0, right? So only four forces will be there: 16, x component of 10, x component of 20, and x component of 15. And finally, I am getting algebraic sum of all x components is 23.454 kilonewton, and I was getting it is positive. That's why it is acting in right hand side. So I am showing the arrow acting towards right hand side. Similarly, I will find out the summation of f of y, algebraic sum of all y components. So one by one, if I grow, this is the horizontal force, its y component is 0. Go to the next force acting at B, 10 kilonewton, acting in the upward direction, so its y component will be positive. D06, 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 माइक ऑफ कर दो. Who is D06?
Sir, I am. Sorry, sir.
माइक बंद कर दो. You are disturbing the whole class. Then 20 kilonewton force acting in the downward direction, its y component will be negative here. So that's why it is 20 sine 20. Then 15 kilonewton force acting in the upward direction, its y component will be positive. So it is 15 sine 36.87. And lastly, this 18 kilonewton force acting in the downward direction. So it is to be negative here, minus 18. Now you are familiar with the resolution here. And finally, I am getting summation of f of y is equal to 10.84 kilonewton here. Now all the steps are common: summation of fx, summation of fy. Only carefully resolve the given forces. If one of the sign is wrong here, the whole entire answer will be wrong. The marks will be given in steps here. 1 mark is for summation of fx, 1 mark is for summation of fy, then 1 mark is for resultant, then half mark is for the theta, tan theta equation, and half mark is kept for location of the resultant. So marks will be given in step. And what will happen here? If one of the sign in the summation of fx is wrong, suppose instead of this 20 cos 20, you have taken instead of positive, you take it negative. So this will be wrong. So you will not get the mark. Means what will happen? Even though your summation of f of y is correct, only 1 mark you will get for summation of f of y. fx wrong है तो resultant wrong आ जाएगा. Then theta wrong आ जाएगा. So only 1 mark you will get for this question. So take care of this while resolving. Resolve it properly, sir. Take care of the sign convention. fx मिल गया, fy मिल गया. The next step is to find out the resultant.
Sir, you are not audible.
Well, now,
Yes, sir.
and can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the next step after finding out the resultant is to magnitude I got, then the direction I got. Now its point of location I have to find out here. So for the point of application, as you know, I have to apply the Varignans theorem. So for the point of to locate the position of the resultant, apply Varignans theorem. So what is the Varignan theorem? Varignan theorem statement is algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about a point must be equal to moment of the resultant about the same point. And moment of the resultant we are saying it means that r into d, where d is the perpendicular distance between the line of action of the resultant and the point O. In this case, we are considering as a point O. Okay. Then one by one, observe this carefully. एक एक moment का देख लेते पहले. So first I have started with this 10 kilonewton force. about O, 16 kilonewton force, it is passing through O. If I extend the 16 kilonewton force, it is passing through O. So its moment will be 0. That's why I have not considered this 16 kilonewton moment. Okay. Then I will think about the 10 kilonewton force. See, this is not a concurrent force system. This line of action of this 10 kilonewton is not passing through the point O. So what I what I have to do, I have to split this 10 kilonewton force into its two components. So first component will be 10 cos 30 and vertical component will be 10 sin 30. Now this horizontal component will be 10 cos. Any problem? This horizontal component of 10 cos 30 component, its moment about O, it's acting towards right, so its moment will be clockwise. So clockwise moment is there. So this clockwise moment is considered to be negative. So this is minus 10 cos 30 into the perpendicular distance. How much is the perpendicular distance between these? For that, I have to refer this y coordinate. Y coordinate is 2. So here 10 cos 30, it is minus here, minus 10 cos 30 into 2 here. Okay, so don't consider this as plus, this is minus because clockwise movement we are considering as negative. Then 10 cos 30, y component will act in the vertically upward direction. Okay, so this is the line of action of the vertical component, which is 10 sin 30, and its movement about O will be anti-clockwise, so it is positive. So plus 10 sin 30 into perpendicular distance, इसका x coordinate जो है point B का, it is 4. So it is multiplied by 4. So 10 sin 30 into 4. Do the same thing about the 20 kilonewton force. The first force will be now x component. It will act like this. So its x component is 20 cos 20 cos 20, and 20 cos 20, and the perpendicular distance between O and this line of action of horizontal component is nothing but the y component of the point C, and y component of the point C is 5. So 20 cos 20 into 5. Now why I have substituted here minus here? Because this x component will act towards right. About O, it's going to produce a clockwise movement. Clockwise movement is considered to be negative here. The next thing, come to the 15 kilonewton force. 15 kilonewton force, its x component will act towards the right. The distance between the point O and this x component is nothing but the y, this y coordinate, and that y coordinate is nothing but 5 over here. And its moment about O, if you consider here, just observe this is the x component over here. Its x component is going to produce its anticlockwise movement. Anticlockwise movement is considered to be positive. So 15 cos 36.87 into perpendicular distance is 5. Similarly, its y component will act here. This will be the y component, and the line of action of the y component and O is nothing but 4 distance. The distance between y component and O will be 4, and its moment will be clockwise here. So that's why minus 15 sin 36.87 multiplied by 4. Similarly, go to the 18 kilonewton force here. 18 kilonewton force, it's acting in downward direction. The perpendicular distance between the point O and 18 kilonewton force is nothing but its x, its x coordinate. X coordinate is 1 here. So 18 into 1. And its moment, if you observe here, 18 kilonewton acting in downward direction. From the downward direction, move the force towards O. Automatically, you will get the direction. I am moving the 18 kilonewton force from the downward side towards O. So I am getting the clockwise direction. That's why it is minus 18 into 1. And in hurry, many of the students are forgetting about this couple. They always, nearly 50% students forget to take into consideration this couple. This couple magnitude is given as 16 kilonewton meter, right? So as per its direction, you have to add or subtract this one. So what is the direction of the moment given here? Moment of a couple, it is anticlockwise. So anticlockwise is to be considered as positive. So
Yes, sir.
सर वॉइस ब्रेक होके आ रहा है.
A lot of disturbance is there today, and that might be your problem because here net is good, college net is good. That might be your network problem. Okay, now I think you can hear me now. Can you see the slide? Thorat Manish. Who is this Thorat Manish? Division C, Thorat Manish. Okay, mic बंद कर दो सर. Okay, so Warrington theorem. So I was talking about this 16. 16 is the moment itself given. This is the moment of a couple. So no need to multiply it 16 by some figure over here. So it is 16 and plus I am considering because it is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise moment we are considering as positive. Clear? So this is plus 16 and is equal to moment of the resultant. The resultant moment will be 25.833. That already calculated. The resultant we have calculated into E here. And you may think that why we are considering this as negative over here, because negative sign indicates already we have find out summation of fx and summation of f of y. As per that one, you are getting that resultant value f of x and f of y. We can conclude that this is going to produce a clockwise moment. Finally, I will get the value of d over here. D is equal to 2.686 meter here. And here in this figure, observe it carefully. This is our resultant R that we know. Then its inclination we have determined already. This is the angle theta, right? And this is the perpendicular distance. So if I have to conclude all these things, now I got the resultant. Its magnitude is to be 25.838. Then the perpendicular distance between the point O and the resultant line of action is 2.686, and its inclination with x-axis is 24.81. So sometimes they are asking just point of location, determine the point of location of the resultant. So at that time, this is only enough. This is only enough means apply the Varignon's theorem and calculate the value of D. What is D? D is nothing but it's a perpendicular distance between the line of action of the resultant and the point O. So this is the D. From this diagram, I think it is clear. But observe this diagram carefully. That resultant is intersecting your x-axis and y-axis at certain point. If I extend the resultant, in this figure you can see the resultant is intersecting the x-axis at point B, whereas it is intersecting the y-axis at point A. So in sometimes they are asking, in addition to this perpendicular distance, you have to find out x and y intercept. So what is the x-intercept? It is the distance at which the resultant is intersecting the the x-axis. So apna point B. So how much is the distance here? X distance. So sometimes they are asking x and y intercept. So this is the distance between the point O and the point B, which is nothing but the x-intercept. Similarly, your resultant is intersecting the y-axis at point B, and distance between the point O and that point A is nothing but the y. This is y-intercept. So in this question, क्या पूछा हमको? Perpendicular distance पूछा है. In addition to that, x-intercept and y-intercept x-intercept, resultant x-intercept and y-intercept. I think strongly cut हो रहा है x-axis को और y-axis. Y-intercepts are there. X-intercept is found out to be, this is the formula you are going to use. X-intercept is given by summation of moment about O divided by summation of f of y. Similarly, y-intercept is also given by summation of moment about O divided by summation of f of x. Just find out this one. So here, go to the left hand side. Here, while applying the Varignon's theorem, I have calculated it separately. This moment, summation of moment, the left hand side of the Varignon's theorem is nothing but the summation of moment about point O. That value is nothing but 69.2899, because that I have to use over here, right? So x-intercept is given by summation of moment about the point O divided by summation of f of y. Substitute the value, summation of f of y already known to you. You will get the x-intercept at 6.392. Similarly, the y-intercept is found out by the equation summation of moment about point O divided by summation of f of x. Substitute the values, you will get the x-intercept and y-intercept. So is this concept of the x-intercept and y-intercept is clear? Any one of you please unmute and answer. X-intercept or y-intercept clear हो गया? What is that?
No, sir.
Sir, Varignon's theorem एक बार repeat करो ना sir.
कितने बार हर क्वेश्चन में कर रहे हैं हम लोग. ये बताओ मुझे x और y-intercept का क्लियर हो गया क्या पहले?
Yes sir.
है ना? X-intercept means the point where the resultant cuts the x-axis. Y means the point where the resultant cuts the y-axis. अच्छा, इसमें Varignon में क्या एक्सप्लेन करना है बोलो मुझे? Moment you are talking?
हाँ सर वो
मोमेंट कैसे कैसे लियो वो चाहिए क्या? ठीक है, वन सेकंड आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस वन.
यस
चलो
यस
एक दो फोर्स एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. ओके, खाली यहाँ पे जो 10 cos 30 है ना, कंसिडर दैट 10 cos 30 एज माइनस. यहाँ पे माइनस साइन नहीं हुआ है. Just give me a minute. O. I have to find out the moment of this 10 kilonewton force about point O. I don't know the, the perpendicular distance between 10 kilonewton and point O. That's why what I will do, I know the its component. So this red color line is nothing but its x component, right? So x component is how much is the magnitude? X component का magnitude रहेगा 10 cos 30. Then moment is nothing but force multiplied by perpendicular distance. So here this x component is acting towards the right. So first I will find out its sign convention. So sign convention will be definitely the 10 kilonewton force is acting towards the right. So its x component will also act towards the right. And if I move that force towards the point O, you will get the clockwise direction. Once again, see the x component, red color dashed line, is acting towards right. If I rotate it towards O, I am getting the clockwise direction. Clockwise movement are considered to be negative. That's why this minus 10 cos 30 I have considered. And the perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance between the point O and this red color line is how much? That is nothing but the y coordinate. So B का coordinate क्या दिया हुआ है? Y coordinate 2. So that's why it is minus 10 cos 30 into 2. Similarly, इसका y component क्या होगा? Through B, 10 kilonewton y component will act like this, right? And in the upward direction. So that component will be how much? 10 sin 30. 10 sin 30, yes, 10 sin 30 I have written over here. Then its moment will be the 10 sin 30 will act in this direction. How much is the y component of y coordinate of the point B? That is 2. So the moment will be 10 sin 30, sorry, into 4. X, sorry, x component, x coordinate is 4. So 10 sin 30 into 4. And regarding its direction, it is acting in the upward direction. So if I move that force towards A, I will get anti-clockwise direction. So see, just see the arrow over here. Y component is passing through B in upward direction. If I move that force towards O, it is going to produce anti-clockwise direction. So which is to be considered as positive. So that's why this is 10 sin 30 into 4. And apply the same logic for all the moments here. And it will be more clear. See, ये practice से आ जाएगा. Moment calculation से अभी जो हम next 2-3 examples देखने वाले हैं, in that again the same moment we are going to explain. So by practice it will complete. Then x-intercept, y-intercept we have discussed over here, which is found out by the equations. So there is another equation from which we can find out x and y-intercept by simple trigonometry. Again, the same figure I have copied over here. This is the resultant r. This is angle theta 24.81. This is the x-intercept. OB is the x-intercept and OA is the y-intercept. So by trigonometry also you can find out, because मुझे d पता है. I know the d value 2.83 something you are getting. By trigonometry also you can find out the x-intercept and y-intercept. So if I take all of you observe this OCB, right angle triangle OCB. दिख रहा है आपको? What is in the right angle triangle OCB? What is cos theta? Can anyone tell? In the right angle triangle OCB, what is cos theta?
Says CB by O.
Cos theta means what?
Adjacent side upon hypotenuse.
Adjacent side is what? What is
CB
the
upon OB.
CB upon OB. Now tell me what is sin theta?
OC upon OB.
OC upon OB.
Yes. Sin theta, if I take, sin theta is nothing but OC upon OB. OB is what? X-intercept, right? D is known to you. Sin theta, theta is known to you. So you can directly calculate the value of x, right? So by that method also you can find out x-intercept and y-intercept. So x is equal to d by sin theta. अभी जो equation बोला था मैंने, sin theta is equal to d by x. D is what? OC. To find out x, I can use the formula d upon sin theta. Sin theta is equal to d by x, or I can say x is equal to d by sin theta. And by that equation also you can find out the x-intercept 6.39. Same answer आएगा जो पहले हमने किया था. Similarly, y component will be also find out by the equation y is equal to d by cos theta. and that value you are getting the same values you will get. Whatever the values you are getting by the previous method and this method will be the same values. Then lastly, so most of the topics are covered in this question over here. Again, move to the equivalent force system. जो हमने पढ़ा था equivalent force system में क्या होता है? Equivalent force system find after finding out the resultant, you have to convert it into an equivalent force system about O. So here also he is asking determine the equivalent force system, force couple system acting at point O. So that we are going to find out. Just observe the diagram here. Diagram में क्या दिया होगा? So in the diagram you can see the first figure. I will point out that this is our point O, right? And this is the resultant you are getting, and D is the perpendicular distance between the point O and the resultant. ये answer हमको पता है. Same thing here. This is the resultant, this is the point O, and this is the perpendicular distance D. अब मुझे क्या करना है? This resultant I have to shift to the point O, right? This resultant I have to shift to the point O. So what I will do here? At point O, I will add the two forces of the same magnitude R, but acting in opposite direction, right? So I am adding the same magnitude resultant forces in opposite direction. One acting in the downward direction, another acting in the upward direction, right? So then what will happen now? Concentrate this. Concentrate on these two forces, black color forces R. This is R, this is R. The distance between them is D. And they are going to form a couple here, definitely. What is the couple? If two unlike parallel forces are acting in the system, they are going to set the form a couple. So this force R and hence two black color forces in the second figure is going to form this force R and this force R is going to form a couple, and that couple magnitude will be product of the force and perpendicular distance. So perpendicular force is what? 25.838, and it is written over in the last. So moment of the couple is nothing but R into D. So these two forces are going to form a couple, which magnitude will be R into D 25.838 into 2.686, because D value is known to you, R value is known to you. And finally, I can show it like this. This red color resultant remains as it is, right? So this R acting at O and these two forces are converted into a couple of moment is equal to 69.289. So this way we can complete this question over here. So most of the possibilities we have covered in this question. The first one is to find out the resultant, magnitude, direction, by Varignon's theorem, point of application, then perpendicular distance D we can determine. Similarly, its x-intercept and y-intercept also we have discussed. Two different methods of the x and y-intercept we have discussed over there. The first method is for the x-intercept. X-intercept is equal to summation of moment about point divided by summation of f of y. Y-intercept is equal to summation of moment about a point O divided by summation of f of x. The another way by trigonometry also in this slide you can see clearly. You can find out the x and y-intercept. And lastly, we are reducing that force system, the resultant, by a single force coupled system acting at point O. By this method, it is more clear from this diagram here. So here now, one more numerical, because already we have wasted a lot of time here. One more numerical we'll study over here. Similar. Okay. So this you will find this question was so whatever the question I am taking now. If you go through the question papers of the university which are available on the MU site, mu.ac.in, you will find the question paper. So this question was repeated so many times in the exam. So let us see how to solve this question. A body is given. It is in the form of a L shape. First, try to read the given diagram. So can anyone tell me how many forces are there?
3 forces.
3 forces, right? At A, force acting is 50 Newton, its inclination is 60 degree, acting in downward direction, right? Another force is acting in between AB, and its magnitude is 100 Newton, it's a vertically downward force. At point C, it's a 120 Newton force, which is horizontal, which is acting at C. And the body, this blue color one, is the body given here. So this is called a Bell crank lever. Forget about that. So this arrangement is called a Bell crank lever. This body is pivoted at point B. B पे fix किया हुआ है इसको. It is fixed at B. If I apply force at C, definitely what will happen? This A will be lifted up here. Now let us see how to find out this. What is the question over here? Determine the magnitude, direction, and location of the resultant of the forces acting on the bale crank lever. So this assembly, this body is called bale crank lever. It's it's a lever having some L shape and fixed at the center point B. Okay. So again, nothing nothing new is there. You have to find out the resultant first. Resultant के लिए क्या है? पहले resolve, then summation of fx, summation of fy, and then resultant and theta. These steps are common for all. So summation of fx I will find out. So एक एक करके जाते हैं. First consider this force at A. The force at A is 50 Newton. So 50 Newton force, its angle is 60. The force is acting. See, always ask the two question. Force is acting towards right or left. If it is acting towards right, it has to be positive. So 50 cos 60 is positive. Then move to the force acting at C. The force is acting towards the right. It's a horizontal force. So its x component will be 120 itself. And that is positive 120. Then next one, 100 Newton force. इसका x component क्या होगा? It's a vertical force, so its x component will be 0. So x summation of fx I got 149 Newton. Then go for the summation of f of y. Summation of f of y, again do the same thing. 50 Newton acting in downward direction. Y component will also act in downward direction. And what will be the magnitude? 50 sine 60. 50 sine 60, and that is minus because it is acting in downward direction. Then move to the next force, 100 Newton force. It's a vertical force. Its y component will be minus 100 because it's acting in downward direction. So that's why minus 100. Then the force acting at C, 120 Newton. It's a horizontal force. Its y component will be 0. That's why the summation of f of y, only two forces will be there, and I am getting summation of f of y is equal to 143.3 Newton. And it is minus. So instead of writing minus, I am substituting the arrow here. Means it is acting in downward direction. Next thing, resultant. No need to explain. Substitute the values of summation of fx and summation of f of y and find out the resultant. Then you can find out the angle theta by the equation summation of f of y divided by summation of fx, and theta is nothing but 44.6. So these steps are common. खाली problem कहाँ आएगा आपको? Moment में problem आएगा, right? So here, before going to that, here in this figure itself, I will explain. एक moment का revision कर लेते हैं. मुझे बताओ 120 Newton. Can anyone tell me 120 Newton force? What will be the moment of 120 Newton force about B? Anyone of you? All of you, please think. What is the moment of 120 Newton force about point B?
Clockwise.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely clockwise. Clockwise तो रहेगा. पहले direction तो clockwise बराबर बोला आपने, right? तो clockwise है तो because it is as it is clockwise, it is to be negative. Clockwise moment हम negative consider करते हैं. अब बताओ मुझे magnitude क्या रहेगा उसका?
Minus.
Moment means what? Force into perpendicular distance. Force कितना है अपना? 120 Newton.
4800 minus
40. 120 Newton force.
Into 0.
Zero कैसे आएगा? Zero कहाँ से आया?
Zero B से पास कर रहा है.
हाँ?
सर C4 to C
सर, एक
perpendicular बनाना पड़ेगा.
ये देखो, just observe केयर क्या? Moment का मतलब क्या है? Moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Moment कहाँ से ले रहा हूँ मैं? About point B. Point B or line of action of 120 Newton force. How much is the distance? This is the line of action of the force. Tell me perpendicular distance. So first thing is, tell me 40 centimeter. Is it the perpendicular distance?
No, sir.
No.
It is slant height. Slant height.
Yeah. Yes. Moment is
We have
So
to
the product
resolve
of-
120.
yes result. Now here the angle is given. This angle is given as 30 Newton. If I extend this 120 Newton force, I will get a right angle triangle here.
Hmm.
So what is the height of that right angle triangle then? How to find out the right angle triangle? If I take cos 30 तो क्या होगा? Cos 30 is equal to the vertical distance cos 30 is equal to vertical distance divided by 40. So vertical distance is nothing but 40 cos 30. This vertical distance between the 120 Newton force and the point B will be 40 cos 30. And similarly, horizontal distance will be 40 sin 30. Because it will form a right angle triangle here. Through B, if I draw a vertical line, through C, if I draw a horizontal line, a right angle triangle will be formed. Cos 30 is equal to, cos 30 is equal to, cos 30 is equal to, adjacent side will be the vertical side divided by hypotenuse. So straight way I can say this vertical side will be 40 cos 30 and opposite side will be 40 sin 30. That will be helpful in the moment. So for the location of the resultant, applying Varignon's theorem, summation of moment about of all the forces about B is equal to moment of the resultant about B, which is nothing but R into T. जो मैंने बोला था, so 50 sin 60 जो left hand का force था, this one 50 Newton. इसका what is the moment of this 50? Again I have to resolve it here. If I resolve this, its x component, it is passing through B, so its moment will be 0. Y component moment will be there. इसका y component क्या होगा? 50 sin 60. 50 sin 60 will act in the vertically downward direction. Its moment will be anti-clockwise, so it is positive. So 50 sin 60 multiplied by the perpendicular distance is 20 plus 20 is 40. So that is given over there. So 50 sin 60 into 40 plus 100 into 20 minus 120 into 40 cos 30 must be equal to 203.86 into D. And by this method, I can find out the perpendicular distance D. So this is the way to find out the perpendicular distance between the resultant and the point of application O. And that point may be any point. Now, in the previous question, in the previous question, I was selecting the point O, right? And in this question, I was selecting the point B. So question में जो पूछा है, here he was asking what is the location of the resultant with respect to the point B. That's why I am taking the moment about B. Okay. So we'll try to cover this also. Read the question carefully now. Diagram दिख रहा है? Diagram is clear to everyone now. Can you see the diagram? Anyone please answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The question is, the forces acting on the length of the dam are shown in figure. So this blue color one, it's a dam is given. Dam, I think you know the dam. For the storage of the water, dams are constructed. So that blue color one figure is a dam, and the forces acting on the dams are shown. How many forces are there? I think 3 forces are there. Left hand side, 50 kilonewton force acting towards right at a distance of 2 meters from O. At point C, it's a vertical force of 120 kilonewton acting in vertically downward direction. 30 kilonewton force is acting at a distance of 1.25 from point D, and its magnitude is 30 kilonewton. So these forces are acting. So first, anyway, I have to find out steps. पहले अपने resolve summation of fx, summation of fy, then r is equal to square root of summation of f of x square plus summation of f of y square. Then next will be tan theta is equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. So only here what I did here, one force is inclined, that 30 kilonewton force is inclined. So to resolve करने के लिए, that resolution I have shown. Observe that resolution of 30 kilonewton force, and if you are any doubt, just tell me. Its x component and y component I have shown over here. The 30 kilonewton force is acting on the line CD, which is making an angle of 60. Compare both the figure. Compare the corner D in the main figure and resolution. If any doubt is there, you can ask. I think it is very much clear from the diagram, because here only you will face the problem to resolve the force of 30 kilonewton. So as we know, this is the corner D. This angle of CD is 60 degrees. So this angle is 60 degrees, right? And this 30 kilonewton force is acting on the line CD, which is perpendicular. So as this is CD, this will be, sorry, if this inclination is 60, this inclination will be also 60, right? Or if I say this is 60, then definitely this 30 kilonewton force will make an angle of 60 degrees over here. So 60, this will be 90, this is 30. So definitely this is 30, this will be 60. And its x component and y component will be 30 cos 60 and 30 sin 60. So only this is the problem over here. Otherwise, the other steps are common. Summation of f of x. Summation of f of x, you can clearly say the first force 50 kilonewton acting towards right, positive. The second force is 30 sin 60 acting towards left. That's why it is negative, 30 sin 60. Then go for summation of f of y. Here you are getting it is plus, so its sign convention will be positive, acting towards right. Then go for the summation of f of y. This is a horizontal force, its y component is 0. This is a vertical force, so its y component will be 120, acting in a downward direction, so it is minus 120. And the y component of 30 kilonewton force is 30 cos 60, acting in the downward direction, so it is minus. So finally, I am getting minus 135. Minus 135 means 135 kilonewton acting in downward direction. Then go for the resultant. Nothing in the resultant. You will get that 137.12. Then tan theta equal to summation of f of y by summation of f of x. Find out the value, and that you are getting at 79.9 degrees. So these steps are common. यहाँ तक तो कोई problem नहीं आना चाहिए. Only problems you will facing in variance step. So first तो complete हो गया. Determine resultant force acting on the dam and point of application. So resultant point of application मुझे निकालना है. So for the point of application, I have to apply Varignon's theorem. So this is the location of the resultant R. Now you may ask, sir, why are you are showing it like this? Why is in fourth quadrant I am showing? Why it is in fourth quadrant? Because see the sign convention. Summation of fx अपना क्या है? Positive. Summation of fy negative. So from this I can conclude that the R is acting in the fourth quadrant, because in the fourth quadrant x is positive and y is negative, and this is the angle theta. Then for the point of application, apply the Varignon's theorem. Again the same equation, algebraic sum of moment about point O is equal to moment of the resultant about point O, which is nothing but R into D. And one by one I will take the moment. So first force is 50 Newton force multiplied by 2 perpendicular distance. Next one is 30 sin 60, that was the inclined force, into 1.25 sin 60. And from this equation you are getting the point P. So this is the entire moment equation, and from that we can find out the value of D. Then next one is x-intercept. X-intercept, there are two methods to find out the x-intercept. The first one is summation of moment upon summation of fy, you will get the x-intercept. Y-intercept can be found out by summation of moment divided by summation of f of x, that you are getting at 16.34. So you can find out the perpendicular distance, x-intercept, y-intercept. Again, the alternate method that already I have explained, you can find out by that equation. If this is the distance x, this is theta, you can find out that by x is equal to d by sine theta, because sine theta is nothing but d by x. So this is the x-intercept. Similarly, y-intercept you can find out by that method also. You will get the same. So I think we'll conclude here. The remaining questions will wind up tomorrow. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask here in any one of the questions.
सर
हाँ बोलो.
सर इकडं ते 6 minus 125 काय आलं ते कसं आलं ते
कुठल्या स्लाइडला म्हणतो या तर सध्या स्लाइड त्याच्यावर का?
नेक्स्ट साइड
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड ना, एक मिनिट.
हा सर.
हा कुठला म्हणतोस
सर थर्ड लाईन मध्ये बघा ना सर, 30 cos 60 into 6 minus, हा ते कुठून आलं सर?
हा एक मिनिट. हा तर हा डायग्राम बघ. हा डायग्राम दिसतोय?
हा सर.
ठीक आहे. आता पहिल्यांदा तुला सांगतो मी, 30 sin 60 into 1.25 कुठून आलं ते राईट हा 30 न्यूटन फोर्स आहे
हा
30 न्यूटन फोर्स त्याचा वर्टिकल
Yes.
कॉम्पोनंट असा असेल कळतंय vertical component of this 30 kilonewton force will act like this acting in downward direction right and this 30 kilonewton force acting in the downward direction about O it's going to produce clockwise movement now this 30 sin 60 into 1.25 sin 60 because here I want this perpendicular distance between 30 sin 30 cos 60 and this point O so first OD is how much 6 that's why 6 is over here येतो का आवाज येतो का रे
हो सर
हा हे बघ हा y component आहे इथे y component is 30 cos 60 acting in downward direction so movement is clockwise so minus यात काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे का 30 cos 60 मध्ये
नाही सर ते नाही त्याच्यात काय नाही सर ह्याच्यात प्रॉब्लेम आहे
हा
6 मायनस
30 cos 60 डाउनवर्ड राईट तो मायनस म्हणजे इथे ऍक्ट होईल हे क्लिअर आहे आता दिस इज हायपोटेन्यूज इज 1.25 I want this distance from point O and this vertical component here. That's why 6 minus हा distance मी minus केला. That is 1.25. इथे मला ट्रायंगल करायचं. ओके एक काम करू तुम्ही उद्या ह्याच्यामध्ये तुला उद्याच्या लेक्चरमध्ये इथे डायग्राम काढून तुला एक्सप्लेन करेल.
ठीक आहे सर
त्याच्यामध्ये मी तो डायग्राम करून एक्सप्लेन करेल. Then it will be more clear.
ठीक आहे सर थँक्यू
अच्छा anyone has any other? So tomorrow we'll wind up. Actually, आज ही करण्यात आले की lot of disturbances are there. Nearly 15-20 minutes we have wasted because of you.